The sun dipped lower over the city, painting the highway in a golden hue. Officers Jack Riley and Marcus Hayes were out on patrol. Jack, a fresh-faced rookie, straight out of the academy, eager to learn, and Marcus, a seasoned veteran, known for his no-nonsense approach. Their patrol car glided through the steady flow of traffic, when Marcus's sharp eyes caught sight of something, a sleek black van easing off the highway and pulling into a rest area. Its tinted windows, that low-key, almost too discreet design, suspicious. Without a second thought, Marcus flipped on the flashing lights, signaling the van to stop. Jack hesitated. There was no clear threat. But Marcus? His instincts were rarely wrong. The van rolled to a smooth stop. Inside sat Thomas Langston, a composed man in his 50s, dressed sharply in a suit, exuding quiet authority. What neither officer realized, Langston was no ordinary driver. He was the head of internal affairs for their department. Beneath his calm exterior, irritation. Being pulled over for no clear reason? Annoying. Marcus stepped up to the driver's side, Jack trailing just behind, his nerves on edge. Marcus gestured for Langston to lower the window, which he did, face unreadable. Without missing a beat, Marcus fired off questions. Why was he in the area? What was the purpose of his trip? And why, of all things, was he driving such a suspicious-looking van? Langston answered politely, his tone measured, but he gave only what was necessary. No extra details. Standing off to the side, Jack sensed it. Something had changed. Marcus's tone, it wasn't just curious anymore. It had sharpened, turning more accusatory. Something felt off. The man in the van. He wasn't acting suspiciously, yet Marcus seemed determined to assert control. Jack glanced at Langston. His steady, unwavering gaze sent a clear message. This was not a man who would be easily intimidated. Marcus's suspicions flared. He ordered Langston out of the vehicle, claiming a search was necessary. Langston arched an eyebrow but complied, his movements deliberate, unshaken. His polished suit and calm demeanor stood in stark contrast to the growing tension. Jack's unease deepened, but he held back. Challenging Marcus's authority? Not a good move. Marcus got to work, inspecting the van, while Langston was instructed to stand by the patrol car. Langston watched, arms resting casually at his sides, expression unreadable. The search, unwarranted, invasive, fueled more by Marcus's assumptions than by any real evidence. Jack could feel the pressure mounting, the tension thick in the air. Then, Langston had enough. His voice, steady and commanding, cut through the moment like a blade. He reached into his pocket, pulled out his badge, his credentials, head of internal affairs. The revelation hit, like a bolt of lightning. Jack froze, eyes wide. Marcus. He went pale. The weight of his mistake came crashing down, all at once. Langston's tone turned sharper, laying it out, point by point. Multiple violations, profiling without cause, an unjustified search, escalating a situation with no real threat. And then the reminder. Their duty was to serve and protect, not intimidate. Not harass. Marcus stammered, scrambling for a defense. But Langston wasn't interested. This would be reported. There would be consequences. Abusing power, a serious offense, especially for those sworn to uphold the law. The weight of the moment settled. Finally, Jack spoke up, apologizing for his part in the situation, admitting that Langston's criticism, it was well deserved. Langston's expression softened, just slightly, as he turned to Jack. He could see the rookie's discomfort, but instead of reprimanding him, he offered something else, guidance. He encouraged Jack to learn from this, to always question actions that felt wrong, even when they came from a superior. But when he turned to Marcus, his tone sharpened. Authority isn't a weapon. It's a responsibility, one that demanded integrity, accountability. The tension still lingered as Langston stepped back into his van, his composure intact, despite the unnecessary ordeal. As he drove away, Marcus and Jack remained still, standing by their patrol car, the weight of Langston's words hanging in the air. Marcus. He looked shaken. Jack. Lost in thought, processing everything that had just unfolded. Back at the station, both officers filed their reports, fully aware. An internal review was inevitable. For Marcus, this was a humbling moment, a wake-up call, a reminder of how dangerous unchecked bias could be, and why upholding true justice mattered. For Jack, it was a defining moment, a lesson early in his career that solidified his beliefs. Fairness, accountability, the core of what it truly meant to serve. Meanwhile, Langston returned to his office, knowing one thing for certain. This one incident wouldn't transform the department overnight, but it was a step, and every step, every confrontation like this, it was an opportunity, a chance to remind officers that their duty wasn't just to enforce the law, but to embody its highest ideals. In the days that followed, the department buzzed with conversation. Officers debated. What were their true responsibilities? Where did their authority begin and end? How crucial was it to always act within the law? For Marcus, this moment forced him to take a hard look at himself, to rethink his approach to policing. And for Jack, it reaffirmed exactly why he had joined the force, to serve with integrity, to make a real, positive impact in his community.